Hey guys, it's Tiny Tom Logan and I'm back with another video for you. Now there has been an awful lot of hype around the GTX 1080 Ti's and I have had a lot of messages as well asking why I've not reviewed one yet. Now I did the reference one, the Founders Edition a little while ago, which is ta-da, here. But the aftermarket ones have taken a little while to kind of filter their way through, and the first one through the door is the Asus Strix overclock. You know, they've got all their, you know, Aura Sync, whatever you kind of want to call it. But anyway, it's the Strix. It's the 1080 Ti. If we flick the old box over, there is some stuff that they want us to talk about with them actually, but if we get the card out itself, and we can kind of put it kind of semi-in shot because it is quite a bit of a beefcake. Now, they say there's 2 times more contact with the GPU because what they've done is they've kind of, best way to put it is they've got a new kind of copper plate and there's loads more direct contact between the actual heatsink itself and the GPU, because we know the 1080 Ti, it's fully kind of fledged Pascal, so because it's running, there's more cores running in there and it's got quite high clock as well. I mean, this one out the box is 1708 megahertz with the boost, or 1594 as a base clock. Now 1594 base clock is actually higher than the boost clock on the reference one, because it was 1582 boost on the reference with about 1400 and something, 1408 I think, as the base clock. So this is already running a good jump above. And the other thing to remember is that yes, the boost will be 1708, but you've also got the GPU Boost 3 that will kick in and it'll overclock it even more. So I reckon we're going to be getting close to about 2000 megahertz, but obviously I've not tested it yet. This literally is just a first look. I've got a couple of motherboard reviews in the kind of cauldron of reviews ready to get kicked out to you guys, but I did want to give you a quick look at this before I crack on. Anyway, the max GPU contact, they're saying it's precision machined, and they say that it's up to 2 times more contact with the GPU than their normal GPU spreaders, which is pretty cool. Other things that they're shouting about as well is it's the there's no humans that make it, basically. It's fully automated production, and it's got the SAP2 capacitors, which they say is 2 times extended lifespan. You got SAP2 choke, which should stop the buzzing and any noise. It's SAP2 MOSFETs on there as well, which should help decrease temperature and actually increase power efficiency as well. And also the SAP2 POS cap, which is to maximize the overclocking headroom. This is apparently on the back of the GPU. It's normally kind of hidden, or it always used to be hidden underneath here, but they've done a really good job of making this backplate pretty kind of bomb-proof, really, in that you can't really see a great deal on there at all. But the cooler itself, it looks very Strix. It is just Strix. I'm pretty sure you can take this off and just swap it with one of the other Strixes, but it's the actual heatsink here itself that's quite a bit different. This bit here is actually 40% thicker, so you should be able to run cooler temperatures and lower fan speeds as well. It does mean though that it's a 2.5 slot, and if I was to grab the original 1080, easiest way to show you is to put them side by side, because you can see that the 1080 Ti is a fair bit thicker. You can see it pokes out along the bottom, whereas this one runs perfectly along the edge of the actual PCI mounting bracket here. Whereas with the Ti, I'll get them on there again just so that I can show you. With the Ti, you can see it is a fair bit thicker. I mean, look at this, the thickness of this compared to this one. It's actually making me really badly want to retrofit the Ti one onto a normal 1080, but I think all the componentry will be different. But when we do the main review, I'm going to rip this apart for you as well, so that you can see. The other thing that the Ti has got that the normal 1080 hasn't is this bracket, and it actually goes all of the way around the card, and it doesn't on the normal 1080. As you can see, it comes all the way around here, all the way around here as well. Now this is just a massive brace, because there is quite a bit of weight to this card. Obviously with the extra fins on the cooler and all that sort of stuff, it's to help keep it straight once it's actually fitted into your case. But yeah, it's beefy AF. Now you do still get the fan speed headers around here. Now they are saying in the blurb that now these will flick between CPU temperature kind of linking and GPU temperature linking. I'm hoping there's going to be a switch in the software that's going to be able to make it mean that you can kind of choose as well. Because obviously something that a lot of them have been lacking really is the fact that you couldn't get a full control on these based on the graphics card. But I will have a good play with the software and I will let you know. But that is our kind of meaty look around. Because there is, like I said, there's an awful lot going on. The back plate, it looks a very kind of standard 1080/1070. The design is the same. You've got the RGB here, still is the same. It's a shame this sticker sticks right into the graphics card. I wish they could have kind of like hid it up this way or something. Do you know what I mean? It's just, it seems a bit lazy. Yeah, we'll just smash it there and let it go right to the middle of the card. Because you can bet your bottom dollar if you were to pull that off, it'd void your warranty as well. But anyway, so there is the sexy look at this rather monstrous card. Where it is a 2.5 slot, most motherboards have at least 3 slots between, so you'll get a good clear slot between. The only one that you would you wouldn't be able to run 2 of these on is something like an M80X, where you get PCI Express 16, a gap, and then the next graphics card slot. That is when this isn't going to work. What you need is your main graphics card slot, a clear slot, another clear slot, and then your next graphics card slot, and that is absolute minimum. What you'd really want is your main graphics card slot, and then 1, 2, 3, and then on the 4th one is where you'd want to put the next one. So 3 or 4 between is a minimum. 2 just won't be big enough because it is a behemoth. Something that they have done is this. It's just a sticker on the side. I'm not sure whether this is something that Nvidia are making them add, because I've seen the GeForce GTX branding appear on the side of other makers' cards as well. But we've got 2 8-pins up here. Got volt pin outs over here if you are really, really into it. There's quite a bit going on really. Quite a bit going on at all. Something else that they've left on there, which the Nvidia guys didn't, is they have left the DVI. I'm just trying to pull this off. They have left the DVI on the normal 1080. There wasn't one. They got that off to increase airflow. So that is our Strix 1080 Ti kind of teaser. But before I leave, they've been breeding. Anyway, Tiny Tom Logan out.